What's up, everybody? My name is Lee Shaner, and you're tuned into You Feel Me. So here we are, You Feel Me, the podcast hosted by myself, Lee Shaner. Some of you guys might know me as Intuition. It's the Skullcandy podcast where we talk to artists and athletes about music, life, and culture. And I'm here with Maxo, a gentleman that I just met who walked into the crib, and here we are sitting at my kitchen table right at home.
Yeah.
What part of town are you coming from?
Man, right now I stay in Pomona. So,
Pomona.
but I'm not coming from Pomona. I'm coming from Herbert at my girl auntie crib. So,
yeah. How long you been there?
I've been there. I went to high school out there, so I've been back and forth there since I was like 15.
No way.
Yeah, I'm originally from Ladera though, so like
You're
View
from
Park.
Okay.
Yeah, like over there by Culver City.
Yeah,
Culver
I know
City
exactly
District.
where Ladera is at. Yeah, for sure. Coincidentally, Pomona is the first city in California that I moved to.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm from out of state.
Okay.
And so when I moved, I went to Cal Poly Pomona for a year. And did you ever hear of a open mic at the college called Session A?
Nah.
I don't know if it still goes on, but it went on for a long time. And my buddy and I started that, and people just
That's
kept
crazy.
with it. Yeah,
That's
we
crazy.
started that almost 20 years ago.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I know Cal Poly got a lot of traditions that keep going on. I got a lot of homies over there. I didn't go to school over there, but it's very blessed.
How long you been in Pomona then? Since high school?
Since high school. I went to high school out there, 8th grade high school.
Why'd you switch from out by Ladera to Pomona?
Just honestly, just like on some parents' decision, just like trying to stay out of trouble. Seeing it was like
they went out there too.
Yeah, our whole family. LA in that time when I moved was a lot more dangerous for black people too, and just like gang culture type shit. You could easily slip into it.
Yeah,
and we just seen what was going on around us, and then like fortunately, like my parents was blessed enough to be able to move us out.
Yeah,
so like we just got ghosted. And just,
a lot of families do that, right?
Yeah.
They kind of move to maybe the IE or up to Palmdale or something like that. Yeah, the Valley, and just try to kind of get out of the thick of things.
Exactly.
What was that like for you? Was it a big transition?
It was a transition just because the people were different, but it was blessed though because it also allowed me. It's more of like a suburban area type. You feel me? Like over there, the closer you get over there, the houses are more like it's. You feel me? It's calmer.
Yeah, you got
not
a yard.
city. Yeah, so it allows you to like grow up on your time and like actually, you feel me? Like growing up in the city, sometimes it be happening too fast.
It does happen fast.
So like I appreciated that aspect of it.
That's really cool. You got brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I got 2 brothers. I'm a middle child.
You're the middle?
Yeah.
What does that mean about you sociologically? You're the attention seeker or what?
Nah, I do not like attention, bro.
Really?
I be liking to just be low key and do my thing, but
You kind of shy?
I'm not shy. I'm just observant.
Yeah,
observant first before I speak.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
a solid trait, you know. The people that think before they speak, they get things accomplished.
It wasn't always like that though.
Yeah.
So, but it's being. I don't know. Like my oldest brother rapped.
Yeah.
My youngest is like little. He grew up like he don't know nothing before an iPhone, so he all electronic-y.
Yeah.
You feel me?
That's tight.
It's hella cool, but it's so different.
What kind of rap was your brother into?
He was hip hop, like my route, my lane type.
Yeah.
Like he was on I don't know if you're familiar with the Smile. It's my last project before Lil Big Man. He was the only feature on that. Yeah, his name's Sharp.
So you guys are pretty close in age.
Yeah.
And so you would be putting each other up on stuff probably as kids.
Hell yeah, 3 years apart. So we grew up together. Well, I was a freshman when he was a senior.
That's exactly my brother and my age difference. I was the older one putting him on to shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like that's the route of a big brother that you got. You got to handle that. Like you got to make sure your little brother is sharp.
Solid,
you know?
Yeah,
you
going
can't be
into
letting
the world.
You can't be letting him be a square. You know?
Real.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
what did your parents do when you was growing up?
So at first, my parents have had many jobs, but at first, my mom and dad worked at American Airlines, then when we were still in the city, and then from there, my mom worked at FedEx. My dad did security. My dad, he was a PO for a little bit. What did he do after that? He lost that job.
Yeah.
He does like little security for like on movie sets and stuff. Just
really?
And then my mom's a midwife.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so as of like she been a midwife for I would say like 4 years.
And are they both from kind of West LA? Is that where they grew up?
My pop's from Chicago. My mom from Inglewood.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So how did your dad get out to the West Coast? Do you know?
Initially he moved out here to become a writer. He wanted to write scripts and stuff, and had like his own little stuff going. And then he met my mom out here. It's this fault. Just
then plans change.
You know what I'm saying?
When you meet the love of your life, plans change. When you start
different.
That family, that's right.
It get different.
Yeah, they stuck together.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, for the family, you know how it goes.
That's a rare trait in this day and age. I feel like
exactly.
So that's great.
Exactly.
So growing up, you started off in Ladera, and this was probably what, like early 2000s?
05, 07.
Okay, yeah. Oh, all right. So that's like right around the time that I moved to LA. Because I'm much older than you, so I was probably So what was it like experiencing West LA through a kid's eyes? Like, what were you doing? What kind of trouble were you getting into?
What was I doing? I was a hooper. I was a basketball.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You're 6'5".
Yeah, I was a hooper. So, I mean, growing up, like, I was always involved in sports. I think that kept me out of a lot of the bullshit.
That's cool.
But really, what was we doing? Just, like, going to the store, being mischievous, just, like... taking candy from the store up the street, like just with my neighbors and stuff. It was very neighborhood oriented rather than like when I moved, like I was like it was just me and my brothers because we ain't really know nobody. You know. So
were you up in the hills in Ladera?
I was like right off Ladera by Pans, if you familiar. Yeah. So right there.
I love Pans. We have Pans mugs in my pantry right now. Yeah, we're big fans.
Classic spot. I remember when that Vin Diesel movie Triple X. He shot a scene in Pans. I was like, yo, that's like right down the
I mean, in the older location, they shot Pulp Fiction. Like, they got the Pulp Fiction signs hanging, or like pictures in there.
True. That's hella true.
So very, very classic West LA restaurant. So were you catching buses anywhere as a kid to go to different parts of the city, seeing stuff?
I was with my grandma a lot. I was with my aunts a lot, like older cousins a lot. I started catching buses like more when I was in 8th grade, high school and stuff, just back and forth. But like through the city, like nah.
Were they more in South LA?
Yeah, that was who?
Your grandma and auntie.
My grandma, where she stayed up in West Hollywood. She still stay in West Hollywood.
No kidding.
So we would just be back and forth. My aunts is like in Inglewood, all by the Forum, all that area, and then my cousins is like Lamert, all that. Like we all spread out really. Me and my and like close, like me and my family in the household are the only people that moved. So everybody else just like all spread out through the city type. That's
tight. So you got family all over the place, so you can kind of hop neighborhood to neighborhood and find something to do.
We've been everywhere.
That's cool, man. Yeah. How was school? Did you like school? Were you a school dude?
I liked the social part. I feel like school limited me though.
Why?
Just because I think differently than how I learned, and I was like, honestly through school I was in a lot of like the special classes really because they didn't understand. Like it was how like it's taught was just mad. I'm a visual learner, and I'm like I gotta learn it, like do it and learn it sometimes, and like it wasn't correlating with how my brain works all the way.
A little more right-minded probably. It was like
exactly.
The creative mind works kind of in the opposite way of like the math
textbook. You feel me? So it's like it was hard to like find a space for me in school. So I did all right. I was like a C student. But I was eligible for sports as long as I could hoop. So, you know,
as long as you kept that 2.0, you're good and shit.
Exactly.
Right.
And but it was cool.
Were there subjects that you stuck out in school though? Like did writing come naturally?
Yeah, like all the literature.
Were you an early reader or anything?
No, I don't read. I don't even like I never really got in
the pen is strong. That's what I'm asking.
You know what I was really good at is like I was really good at just like the literature and some of the histories, but like the essays, all that, like where I got to like
creative writing,
you know, and like where they wouldn't like I did well in the areas where they wouldn't like guide the subject what we needed to write about, because then I would just be able to go in my head and just like, you feel me,
paint a picture.
Really. So I would do really good on those, get A's and all that, and like all the English.
That's what I noticed listening to Lil Big Man is like you're very good at painting a picture. And like one of the lines that stuck out, the reason I was asking like, if it was in South LA, like you say, like the people that'll hop out at you at the Popeyes across from your grandma's house, shit like that. I was like, that's like very LA. Like I can picture that block. I feel like
facts, man. And then I also
that's a real story.
One thing I was about to say, one thing that I want people to know with my music is like people that I look up to with rap. or just in general writers, like Nas is a great rapper, but it's like he not necessarily talking about himself all the time.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to a song like Second Childhood, he talking about like shit he's seen or shit like that's close to him, not necessarily been through all the time, but it's like shit that like I speak on like black man struggles, you know, and like coming up in like in LA and just like having to deal with shit that necessarily like you not even on that, but these motherfuckers is tripping, thinking you on that, and now you in some whole bullshit. Like I've been in them situations,
right?
But I never really was seeking. I never really like. I don't seek for drama or trouble or nothing because I didn't see like from an early age like where that life gets you, just like having people taken away from me from that lifestyle early on, like, and seeing like the pain they moms have and like my aunts and shit losing all their sons to the system and like, you know what I'm saying? So like, and my mom, and I think something that deterred me from thinking to think that way was like my mom and my dad, and like my household was always solid.
Having that strong family core.
You feel me? I didn't necessarily have to go anywhere like for that. My brother is like, you know.
Right, because I can't relate to that whatsoever, but I know that like I've read a lot that it's like, oh, when there's a lack of family structure in a disenfranchised home or whatever, then like, you know, people seek that familial relationship on the street or whatever. And so you got to bypass that because you had a strong support system.
Exactly. And even even aside from that situation, like everything starts in the home. Like a kid is gonna be disobedient in school because like his home structure ain't right, and there's something going on. Like it could be, you feel me? Like it don't even have to be related to that. It's just it all starts in like the core. Yeah, so absolutely. It's like that's just like it's always for me like this rap stuff is always just deeper than the surface. I just need people to like really pay attention and really like listen and develop their own perspective rather than what I'm saying, because like it's important that we think for ourselves rather than just like he said, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like everything's so like it's so everybody just observes the surface, you know, and it's hard to really observe the full thing because you don't really know the person, right? You know, so I like give the benefit of the doubt.
Are you kind of speaking on the fact that like in this really quick news cycle when so much media is being dropped all the time that it's like people are waiting for somebody to point something out and go like, oh, this is cool, you should listen to it, versus like
developing their own taste, right? You know, it's kind of like
we're in an algorithm world now.
Like real life, man. Even with the Instagram, like how like you looking up, so you like say I want some Converse and you scrolling down your gram and it's an ad for Converse, and like that it's controlling, like our minds is like being controlled on the low. It's kind of weird. Nobody has their own opinion, and if they do, it's somebody else's opinion. So it's like it's an odd time.
It is. It is hard to kind of like find yourself in this time. I feel exactly, particularly like with meme culture and how I don't know. I don't want to
imagine being 15 right now.
That's what I'm saying. It seems like it would be hard, but at the same time, I don't want to be like old man yells at cloud, you know what I'm saying?
But I be feeling old though. Think about that, because technology got time moving so quickly.
It really does.
So it's like what was relevant 5 years ago is not relevant.
No, it's true.
Flip phone in high school. I didn't have an iPhone until I graduated. So it's like, and I graduated in 2013. You feel me?
Oh, wow.
So it's like, it's crazy how quick shit moving.
See, I didn't even have a cell phone until I graduated college.
My brother does not remember. His first phone was an iPhone.
Really? Yeah, that makes sense.
Crazy.
You're just born into having like the world at in your hands. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, it's funny because I still think back about like when texting while you were driving was kind of safe because you wouldn't have to look at the screen. You would just press three. Like you need an M and you just press a button 3 times to get M or whatever. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so I remember when it's like no texting and driving. I'm like, what the fuck? And now I realize like, oh, it's because you have to look at the screen the whole time. Like
it's no button.
Yeah,
like for real.
Texting and driving used to be pretty safe. Like maybe a better driver, maybe.
Yeah, like, for real. Like for real though. For real. That's crazy.
So when you guys moved to Pomona, what kind of like culture shock is that for you? Just things slow down a little bit?
Things slowed down. It was a lot more white people.
That's what I was gonna say. What was the demographic like? Ladera is a very like predominantly black area, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like where we moved, like it was just it's black people everywhere, but like it's just a lot more like the schools, how everything was set up was so different. Like and it was so like I don't know, I feel like over there like I seen like different things I wasn't supposed to see earlier, just because like you feel me? Like I low key like was like I had like the homies, but like it was mad white folks that like they pulling up in Porsches and shit, and like they got money because they parents was. It's like it was different. It was different, but then like what benefited me is like I wasn't new to that because like growing up, my uncle played in the NFL for 15 years, I didn't been back and forth to Virginia every summer and then got a big old mansion, whips, all that.
That's where he stayed. It was in Virginia.
Yeah, because he played for the Redskins. He played for the Bills. He played for the Chiefs. Yeah, he started 15 years, seen a Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
so
tight.
like, it was very like that opened my eyes up. I seen money young.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like that didn't really fuck me up, but I seen how it like fucked the homies up too.
Right.
Like some of my friends you know how when you walk into a crib and you ain't seen something and you like looking around like you ain't seen something.
Yeah.
I just found myself like a lot. That's when I noticed I just was able to. I've been blessed enough to see things go a lot of different ways. You feel me? Like it hasn't even necessarily been based on like where I'm at. More like because I've been in so many places.
Well, when you get to experience things that people in the same situation as you might not be experiencing, you get to like broaden your horizons a little bit. You don't have such a myopic view of the world.
Exactly.
Like you're like, oh, it can be this or it can be that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then moving, I'm coming like before we move, like I'm coming from a perspective like I got cousins dead and in jail just off some shit that these niggas don't even know about.
Right.
You know, so it was like I seen that side, but like I seen the news side of things. It was very like weird, but it wasn't like out of my element per se.
Was it easy for you to make friends in the new spot?
I mean,
you seem like a pretty sociable dude just in the first 5 minutes I've met you.
Yeah, people I noticed throughout my life, people are very like I don't know, drawn to
you?
Me. Yeah, just
I get that. I could see that.
In a very humble way, just like, I don't know. It's like on some leadership, low key.
You're going to think that I'm just bullshitting, but I was just about to say, like, you strike me as a natural leader. And part of that is just human instinct because, like, there are scientific studies that people that are over a certain height and they have good posture, like, people look at them like, oh, that's a leader. There was once a guy that almost got elected as president just, like, because he was tall. Like, literally, you know what I'm saying? Because people were like, oh, he looks like he should be the president.
That's crazy.
And so, like, I was going to say, when you walk in, I'm like, people probably look at you like a leader.
Yeah,
and so you felt that.
So I felt it a little bit, but it took a little time to realize what it was.
Yeah.
You know,
right. Because you seem like you have like my gut instinct is like kind of a chameleon quality where probably you get along with different types of groups of people.
I could kick it with a lot of people, a lot of different types of people, and like still play background and chill out. That
makes sense. That makes sense. So did you go there and just start instantly balling on people and hooping though?
Yeah, I went there, started hooping for sure. I actually didn't make the squad my freshman year.
Really?
Then I made senior. I made a sophomore year, junior, varsity, just all throughout the 3 years. And then I tried to hoop in college, but I hurt my back and shit.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it was. I started. I don't know. It was just a much slower pace. Like people like growing up. Yeah. Just in a place that's like not a city place is very like, I don't know, the pace is so weird that it's just, you got more time to think, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, because like I feel like now that it's like I'm 24 and like shit is wrapped around, like I found myself like a little more solid than like thinker than like more of my friends. I probably got a lot to do in my home. But
you had a lot of time to be in your own head,
you know?
Yeah, because it's not as much of like there's a certain in LA like survival mode you have to kick in a lot of the times or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was able to like bypass some of that like in the crucial years. Like I felt a little bit of it, and then like coming back, like now I feel it a little bit, but I'm older, but still people be tripping. Yeah. But like I was able to just like bypass a little bit of that.
Totally.
Yeah, so it was kind of it was very beneficial.
Were you already rapping as a youngster? Like, were you in high school? Did you start barring up?
Man, I started rapping in 2016.
Just started?
Yeah, 2016. I made my first tape called After Hours.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
How does it happen so fast?
Man, bro, because but mind you, like my brother really raps, and like really like.
Was he rapping while you were in high school still?
Nah, he was rapping like I was fresh out of high school, like 2014. So he was rapping. I would pull up to like the little pay to play shows with him and shit, and like it would be
like
cool.
The Glass House and shit.
Like what's that place called on Hollywood Boulevard?
The Roxy.
Nah, it was this little place. I forgot.
Oh, it's like an all ages venue, I think.
Is it a bar?
I don't know.
I forgot the name, but it was like I would pull up to little spots with him, and I would like see like shit he was doing, so it kind of hit me to just like what to do. A lot of things, bro, in life, I know like I'll be all over the place sometimes, but a lot of things like I'll be looking back and like they prepare me for like what I don't even know is coming. Right. So it's like, it's weird.
You kind of Mr. Miyagi yourself
through
life, It's like you're doing one thing and not realizing that it teaches you how where it was supposed to guide you.
You feel me? Yeah. But it almost forces you to see like what's written for you too. Also like just on some like manifestation path.
But you don't notice it until years later
because you're just in the moment. Yeah,
Well, so tell me about those. Like you're going to these pay to play shows. What did you learn from them?
Like I would just learn like how to like just on stage, just like what not to do. Just like same. You got an older brother, do you?
No, I'm the older brother.
You're the oldest. Okay, so
but I watched a lot of people to learn what not to do on stage. Though,
you feel me? Or just in life, like so. It was just I took that same aspect from just watching him through life, just like seeing that just on stage. Okay, like how you like what he could do that was different. But he gonna learn on his own. Yeah. He hard headed. We all want to like be grown, right? So it's like he did it his way, but then me going into like what I'm doing, I was able to like pinpoint what I wanted to do. Tell
any young bucks listening some good pointers of what not to do on stage, because I have my list of things that you shouldn't do on stage.
Don't focus too much on what the crowd thinks, for real, because you really just essentially like up there by yourself. You feel me? And it's like just. Overall, just like if you're doing music, just make songs you like.
That's it.
For real. Because then when you perform them, you're going to be able to tap in like quicker, and you're going to be able to do your thing.
You got to notice that the more you maybe yell at an audience or get mad at them for not reacting to the song, the quicker it is and the easier it is for them to hate you.
You feel me? Know what I mean? And just like be yourself. Yeah. Like it shouldn't be no facade aspect to it, because it's like if you just putting yourself out there, what people really gonna say that's gonna be negative or gonna hurt you if you already put yourself out there?
That's a very strong like self-aware perspective, though. A lot of people don't find that in themselves until they're much older, So like I think you're like kind of blessed in that, man.
Yeah.
But the easiest way to lose an audience is definitely to be like, oh, what, you guys aren't feeling this shit?
You feel me? Like, and then it's like, they get off the stage, bro. What like, the fuck? For real. So it's just like that. It just taught me, like I'm a very visual person. So like once I seen how the music worked, and just like once I learned that, like I was already I already had like a picture in my head for the visual side. Just like today, like the videos you've seen, the artwork, like I'm very involved in like everything that's put together, like the whole vision. So it's just like, I knew what I wanted. So once I just sharpened my skill, everything came together, it was kind of like, okay, I got something.
Yeah, because you were able to kind of like create this well-rounded package for yourself.
Exactly.
Since you're so visual.
Exactly. Yeah.
What did your brother get in the house to start making the music? And like, did it intrigue you immediately? Was it like, boom, I got Fruity Loops on the laptop?
What did he get? He was going over his homie's crib, just making music and just recording over there. He didn't even have nothing. He had a mic and he had just like the regular stuff, but he didn't have like the nothing crazy. Logic, you feel me? All that. Like,
would you go over to the house and watch him record?
I went over there a couple times. But mainly like I would see the songs before they was recorded. Like he would be like, "Yo,
let me spit this in the car for you real quick."
And then it's like the hardest shit, and like just those moments is way more inspiring than like because you seeing the shit before, like it's in. You feel me? It's in his head, so it's like. That shit was crazy to me.
Let me ask you some inside baseball nerd rap shit.
Word.
When you would listen to your brother spit in the car, not to make him a scapegoat for this story, but when you would listen to him spit in the car.
Or just anywhere.
And you would feel that energy of like hearing it raw over the beat. was he able to transfer that energy onto a mic and get it sounding and having that same feeling when it was recorded? Or is that something that you learned like, oh, I need to be able to have this same energy live and on the mic?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I think we both like good at that, just making it sound like we want it to sound. But I think like he not a hustler. He more just like you feel me? Yeah. Like that's where the hustle aspect come in, where it's like you could be on your 50th take, but you gonna get the song done. Yeah, you feel me? It's like a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah. And I mean, the reason I ask that is because I've met a lot of rappers through my travels where it was like, I would hear him spit something in real life and be like, oh my God, like you are the truth.
And it don't translate.
But they can't get it on mic. Yeah. And so that's something you can learn. It's like where oh, I need to make this translate and have that same feeling when I'm finished, or else nobody's going to fuck with the records, because not everybody's ever going to get to see you live.
Exactly, you know? Exactly. So, it translated, though, on some songs it didn't, but it was just a weird time, bro, because it's like when he stopped rapping and I started rapping and I was able to just like polish it my way and just but I never really like, I don't know, like I always had my own vision. Maybe I had my own vision the whole time and was trying to like put that into his, and then like when he wasn't being receptive, it just forced me to like do my thing. Yeah, you know,
it's interesting because I mean, there's a lot of rappers with that story. Did you check out Gucci Mane's autobiography?
No, I didn't.
It's fantastic. I want to say that first, but like his shit was kind of the same way, where it's like he was hustling and then he like started buying studio time for rappers and then they wouldn't show up and he'd be like, man, fuck it. Let me just do this. I have a vision for what they should sound like. Let me do it.
For real.
And then
that's what it comes down to, because it's like, when are you going to be the source?
Right. You know? Right. Because you can have all the ideas in the world, but if you're not putting your money where your mouth is, like, what's the point?
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Like we all human. Like we can all literally do what we want to.
Did you start rapping around the time that you hurt your back or what?
I started rapping around the time my brother stopped rapping. He started tripping, going through some shit just with his head and shit, and just started like feeling the evils of life that it shows you just as a black man too. Right. He started just feeling that, and then I started rapping just like on some for therapeutic reasons, and then it just turned into this. You feel me? Like it just like I didn't like ever like plan to like
it was an accident.
Get here low key. So it's just like, it's just honestly like low key like amazing. But it also
to be here in Eagle Rock, you mean that's
right here in Eagle Rock at your
right
house.
Here at my kitchen table. That's what it is.
Nah, for real. No, but yeah, it's just like it's odd, man. It's odd.
It's kind of nice when that happens though. Like when you fall into something that you're really good at and you didn't realize that you're good at it. Like that's pretty tight.
Word.
You know what I mean?
Word.
Because you can dream about things, and sometimes like when the original dream fails, like maybe basketball career or whatever. It's like you accidentally stumble into the thing you're supposed to be doing.
That's a fact.
You know?
And that's low-key what happened.
I've been reading a lot about that lately, where it's like, don't look at a failure as like an actual failure. Look at that as like a stepping stone to what you're supposed to actually be doing.
It almost opens, like it makes you think a certain way.
That's right.
Like a loss is a lesson.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Did you feel a magic within yourself the first time that you like actually put headphones on and recorded over a beat? Were you like, oh, this is it? Or did it take time to grow on you?
It took time to grow. First, I started recording over just like beats I would find. It took a little time to grow though, and then I made one song I really liked. His first song on my SoundCloud called "Old Ways." One song I really fucked with, and then that just transpired to me like ditching class at Chaffee College to go record with the homie Vic. And then that turned into a whole 6-track EP tape thing. Then, it just kept like snowballing into something bigger every time. And then like, I remember when I recorded my first tape, After Hours, like my mom, I didn't tell my peoples, like nobody knew. My mom had to find it. She's seen it on like the internet or on like Instagram or something. And like, cause I just always, it was all this has always just been for me. Like the listeners and everything is a blessing right now. Yeah. But it's always just been for me, just like for me to learn myself through it. You feel me? Because it's like it's like it's helping the listener grow and like think how they want to think, but it's me. Well, it's me.
When I listen to the newest tape, Lil Big Man, which you guys should go stream right now, I feel the catharsis in it. Like I feel you getting over shit, and I feel you working through shit and figuring it out as you go. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like that record feels like that.
That's tight thing, because that's what it needs to be.
For sure. And it has this kind of, I hate to say the word like old school feel, but it has a timeless feel. How about that? Like it has a feeling where you can't tell what era it's from because it's like modern, but also clearly rooted in the histories of boom bap rap. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I perfectly understand what you're saying. Yeah. Because the influences came from like what I grew up on, like just what was around me, and then also what my parents was playing. Yeah. A lot of like Dwele, Erica.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like that.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Common. Mm-hmm. So it's like, that's influence, because that's what I was playing a lot of Dwele when I was making Lil Big Man. Mm-hmm. But I was also playing like a lot of Greedo. You feel me? Like it's just both of both. Like both worlds type shit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, what were your parents playing in the house when you were a kid, but other than Common and Dwele and Erica?
Like a lot of that, like Jill, like Marvin, Zap Mama, Anita, like all the classics. Like,
it sounds warm. It sounds like you're listening to a lot of warm music, if that makes sense, right? Like that real, like, give you a big hug of soul type of shit.
All the black music, for real. Just all like the shit that like niggas talk about. You feel me? Like all that. D'Angelo, all that. Like,
it's all the shit that I would put on to clean my house, really.
You feel me? Like all that. Like for real. All that.
Yeah, that's that mood. Yeah. Were you also at that age that your parents are playing that and you're hearing all this warm music in the house? Are you listening to what's coming out on the radio as well? Or like, you know what I mean?
Then, like Bubba Sparks and shit. You feel me? Hey. Like Yin Yang Twins on the radio.
That was
like,
huge.
All that type. Yeah. All that. Chameleonaire, Mike Jones. We had the Mike Jones tape. My brother got the wanted CD, the Bow Wow shit when it first dropped for his birthday. Like we was on that too.
I think people would like sleep on Mike Jones, that whole movement, Paul Wall and Mike Jones and Slim Thug. Like you go back and listen to those tapes, they aged pretty well, particularly the chopped and screw versions. I really like those tapes, chopped and screw.
For real. Cause even like it don't go nowhere, because like even you see like Solange reminiscing on it in her tape. I don't know if you heard it, but like
I did,
shit like that. Like it's like people know what's classic. People know what's classic.
Yeah, Swisher House. Shout out
exactly,
Swisher House.
Paul Wall.
Bubba Sparks had like one really, really good album,
bro. Yes.
And people like forget about that. I feel like that. I don't know, for some reason that era of like 2004 to 2007 has gotten like forgotten or something.
It didn't stick. It didn't stick because it wasn't. It was a weird time where like people was in denial of what was happening.
Yeah, everything was very shiny and glossy at that time, and audio wise, does that make sense? Like it sounded really polished, and then it got a little grimier very quickly after that. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I could see that influence, because that's another thing when I listen to your tape is that it doesn't sound as regional as I would expect either. I couldn't really tell where you were from. I was getting little hints of LA, but I was also like, maybe he's from the South. I can't tell. Tight. You know what I mean?
That's hard.
Does that make sense?
That's very tight. Yeah. Because like I don't want my music to focus on necessarily a place more than I need it to resonate with just people. Yeah. It's like, it's human. Like I feel like everything is like associated to where you from rather than the person. Like it's so many niggas hiding behind, like not hiding, but just like the only thing they represent is just their city, where it's like, what are you about? I done heard so many things about your city, your block. I don't need to know about that no more. What are you about?
Yeah, like, how has that affected you?
Yeah, right. Or just like, what are you about? Like what do you have to say? Like that's like about you. Like people makes like I've listened to so many albums and so many. I'm tired of rap because it's so much based on like what's around or what's like, rather than like how do you feel. Like it's just like, damn, what are we talking about? Like, you know, it's like having a conversation with no substance.
Yeah, no,
like,
I completely feel you. Like, yeah, if you stop listening to rap, what do you listen to when you're in album mode?
I listen right now. Like I listen to a lot of jazz stuff, or like a lot of like I've been on my reggae tip too. What I listen to, like a lot, like Jill. Like I'll be on my Jill Scott tip heavy. Yeah.
You could feel the jazz influence in your music too, though. Like that sounds like you have an ear for like jazzy beats. It's funny. I'm actually reading a book about Tribe Called Quest right now. Fantastic book. Shout out Hanif. Hanif Abdul Rakib. But yeah, he's talking about just the jazz influence in that era and how like they were kind of one of the first groups to really like insert that jazz feel, right? You know, before the soul feel even got popular.
Exactly.
And shit.
But you got to even think of like the root of hip hop is like really the Isley Brothers.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like Biggie. Like think about it. You feel me? Like so it's like. It like all that, like it's all just like growth into like evolution of music, but like it's all related, connected. Like you feel me?
Do you make your own beats? I didn't do enough research on the track listing.
I don't make my own beats, but low key because I'll be in there when they making them.
Yeah. Or like, so you're giving suggestions. It's like, oh wait, I like that part. That talks to
exactly.
me. I never made beats
I don't push
either.
No buttons though.
Right, exactly. I never made beats either, but I would definitely like when I would work with a producer, I'd be like, oh that part of the sample, that or maybe I would find a sample for him. Are you finding samples?
Exactly. Something you could loop up for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm trying to come with the drums. I'm trying to get the drum pad right so I can come.
That's the hardest part. Once you can get the swing on the drums, everything comes.
It's over with. Once I get these drums right and just be able to like shoot them to a producer and have them build around them, like that's what I want to do.
What is your studio process like? Are you somebody that comes with notebooks full already and you just go in there and bang it out, or are you writing while you're in the studio? Or
a little bit of both.
Yeah.
For Lil Big Man, it was a lot of like. I might go over like because a lot of the producers I work with I really know, so I can just pull up on them. We go through some beats, and then I pick some. I'll sit with some for like a week, write something, and then come to the studio with like.
They're dudes from the LA area too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The only one that's not is Roper Williams. That's a duo from New Jersey, but Swarvy. He stay in Echo Park. And last name David stay in Rancho Cucamonga.
Oh yeah.
Vic stay in Rialto. So it's like for sure.
You got they're spread. Those are long drives to me. I hear those neighborhoods and I'm like, wow, you were driving a lot making this record.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like anything to get it done.
Yeah, that's spread out.
Like I'll just like I came with a lot of ideas, but sometimes I would just write in the studio for sure.
Yeah. It definitely has a cohesion to it, to where you can't tell that it's different producers. So like that's a great teller, I think, for somebody who's going to have a nice long career, is that if you can make multiple people come together and make it sound as though it was a team effort. You know what I mean? And there's not a bunch of like people trying to be the all-star.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, that's a really solid trait. I think you got a good ear for beats, man. That's not really a question, just a compliment.
Thank you.
Yeah. So after you release your first project and your mom is like finding out about it on Instagram and stuff, like, do you start trying to get out in the city playing shows? Are you going back to Lamert and doing bananas and stuff like that?
I feel like I was naive to my fan base. Yeah. Till a couple months ago, I threw a listening party for Lil Big Man.
I saw that. Looked like
at Haroon Coffee, and that shit went up. Yeah. So I feel like I've been naive because I never looked for. I've been so on just blocking out opinions because I'm like, I don't even want to hear what y'all think about my shit. So it's like it created like a shield of like I never really like I would do shows with the homies and shit and pop up at they sets, but I still ain't have my own show in LA
at all
ever.
Yeah.
So it's like I never had a Maxo show ever. So it's like we just.
If you had a dream first spot to do your first LA show, where would it be? Do you have a favorite venue or something?
I don't have a favorite venue. I just want it to be somewhere where everybody can come. Yeah.
Kind of central.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to bring back some things like some jazz clubs in Lamert and shit, or just like you know, like all the shit that like people is forgetting about, like because it's just I don't know, it's so rooted. Like I don't know, I feel like anywhere where it just has some type of like. People been through there that like really changed something. You feel me? Like I just want to go like to those spots. Like, but I understand you got to work your way up to it. But I be feeling like I'm ready to just like re-emerge, help some shit re-emerge that matters, and that's gonna like really like. Do you know Verbs? Nah. Oh man, I gotta link you with my homie Verbs. He does all kinds of stuff in Lamert. And he could probably facilitate that. I think with one of his mentors named Ben, and I can't think of Ben's last name, but he runs the spot that they used to do Project Blowed at and all that stuff. Okay. I'll link you guys. It'd be dope. Please do. How is it that you go from
releasing a record in 2016 to like people at Def Jam finding you? What's the process like?
The internet.
Yeah.
You know, and people be sleep on that. Like,
did something pop up to where you put a song out and ended up on a Spotify playlist or something?
The people was drawn to Smile. So that EP Smile, everybody should go check that out right now. Smile on all. Just type in my name, Maxo, Smile, on everything.
Okay.
I released Smile before Jay-Z put 444 out.
Okay.
So it's like, you feel me? Like, people should go check that out. I feel like that, like, made a lot of noise. And then, like, also my peers. You know, it's like, my peers is, like, very, like, we on our own little wave to where it's like, we all connected and all coming up at the same time. Like, it's crazy. Like,
so that was an extra support system.
You feel me? Yeah, but people, I think Smile drew people to my shit. And then shout out Mike Chavez. He was an A&R at Def Jam.
And he just hit you up
and
like...
and he was down to like...
He said, what are your plans?
He was, you feel me? So it's like, it's like that. And then like, he got me to what I needed to do, what I wanted to do. So I'm like, fuck it, let's run it.
Well, what's that process like as a young dude? What are you at that time, like 22, 23?
22. Yeah.
Okay, so...
22, about to be 23.
Okay, so Mike hits you up from Def Jam and like, what does that feel like when you open that email? Or you're like, oh, fuck?
It was a lot because prior to that, I had a little 3-track EP on my SoundCloud called Gold in the Mud. That shit came out after hours. So like, I would say like might have been in 2016 too, like late 2016. So I forget the date right now. But on that, I had a song called Only Niggas and Coach, and I was like, I'll probably never get a deal, but if I do, I hope it's Def Jam. And then like they didn't hear that. You feel me? They heard Smile.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, like I was tripping just off
self-fulfilling prophecy.
I was like bugging. Like luckily I had people around me. Once again, this came into play to benefit me. Like I had people around me that like a good support system and niggas that's been like seen the game and like niggas that could facilitate lawyers they trust and like, you feel me?
Oh, that's all the stuff that I like would love to hear about because I don't know how any of that operates, and I think a lot of people don't ever get to hear how that operates. So that was kind of what I was getting towards. Is like you're this young dude, fresh out of high school, just about like a couple years out of college, whatever. And 22, you might feel like a man at that time, but you probably look back and go, wow, I was young as shit. So like, how do you navigate that? Like, who do you hit up first and go, wow, Def Jam is talking about maybe wanting to sign me. Like, what do I do? Is it like mom and dad, or is it like you had a manager or something? Like, what happens?
So at that time, I hit up my homie Nick Herbert. He managed Injury Reserve.
Oh yeah.
I was like, bro, what is this? Is this for real?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, this is for real. So then I'm like, okay. So then I tell my mom and shit, and then like we like, damn, okay, like we need to figure out like what we need to do. And
I mean, your parents must be tripping too, because like they're the right age to have grown up on Def Jam as well.
You feel me? They was geeked, but at the same time, like. Just like with my uncle and shit, like we seen this shit happen, so we weren't too like swept off. We was like, okay, what we need, you feel me? So it was like after that, I went to my I don't know if you're familiar with Tarak, from Detroit. He was just in Dilla era, all that. Yeah. He managed me and he helps help facilitate and like just everything like came together. Like my family, like my mom's helped manage me, and then his wife is like, and they're involved in like just, you feel me?
So you had people in the background that already was like
low key.
I've been through this and I know what we need to do to not get like swept away in this shit.
Exactly. But how I knew him was just on some shit like my mom a midwife, like I said, she delivered they babies.
Tarak's?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they lived down the street from us.
That's some perfect small world
so
shit.
I'm like, like on some shit, like it just came together. You feel me? Yeah. And like they had a lawyer on retainer because they been, you feel me?
Yeah, he's been in the industry for like probably 20 years.
Exactly. Yeah. So just like that just kind of came together, and then everything is just so connected.
Yeah.
Like,
is that one of those things where like when a label's reaching out to you, the smartest move is go get a lawyer first?
The smartest move is get somebody that know what they speaking on that contract,
understands
that language, because that's a different language. If you're a regular nigga, you're not gonna understand that shit.
Oh, I mean, I consider myself a pretty good reader, and I read contracts and I go, this seems like another language.
You're not gonna understand it. You need somebody that's gonna be able to like read that language, and that is like shout out Shay. Like you feel me? Like any regular nigga not gonna be able to read that shit.
So once the ink dries on that paper, what happens? Do they start flying you places, meeting producers, or is it just kind of like, hey, we already like what you're doing, so just keep doing it?
Exactly that. Yeah. So Mike Chavez, he's like, I told him that, like, I told him like, let me keep doing. Like they didn't come in wanting to change anything. Yeah,
like kick down the doors and be like, okay, you got to put a shirt on, put a suit on,
exactly,
and shit.
Exactly. They was, and mind you, it's gonna be like I feel like it's gonna be little hints. You feel me? These niggas is throwing just to like, oh, you should like. But if you solid within your vision, you're not gonna fall to that. You feel me? So it's like I just always knew what I wanted, and like everything like on this project, like Def Jam didn't. All they did was cut the check. I need niggas to understand that. Yeah. All these niggas that was on this tape, Swarvy, Roper, last name David, Vic,
they never
all the features is my people.
Yeah.
So it's like I sat there and I sequenced the album with Swarvy.
That's what, like, before we even turned on the mic and you're sitting here, I said I had no idea you were on Def Jam because I listened to the record and I go, this sounds like a bunch of friends that made some music together. It doesn't sound like anybody going like, okay, hey, can you be a little more this or be a little more that? It's like very authentic, very, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so, do they panic about samples? Because you sound fucking good over some sample beats.
You feel me? It's a cool little budget. So like we was able to do what we needed to do. Yeah, for sure.
So that's nice. They're kind of letting you actually develop your talent and incubate for a little bit and not like...
It's more so like I'm not letting it not be that. Yeah. You feel me? Yeah. Like ain't nobody controlling where I go.
That's great.
Yeah. So
Lil Big Man comes out in what? February?
March 15th. It started dropping singles in February.
So it's pretty new.
Hella. 2 months.
How has it felt? How has the reaction been?
People been eating it up. I feel like I definitely feel like different. Not me, but just like how people feel about me.
So here's what I will say about this, and it might come off sounding like a backhanded compliment or something, but I'm saying that this to me says that you got a bright future, right? Is that I haven't heard any like normies talking about it yet, but I've heard like everybody that I think knows music talking about it, right? So it's like the murmurs on Twitter right now are from the people that are like the deep cut seekers, and they're all going like, yo, Maxo's really dope. You know what I mean? And then I think what happens with that is then the next step is like normal people start like...
Exactly.
It's like, and then it's kaboom.
And my whole thing is just like, as long as the people talking.
Yeah.
You know?
And people are talking. That's what I'm saying. It's just like right now it's still just those like the people that are inside.
It's been out for 2 months. You feel me? Yeah. It's like I like, it feels like it's been out for like a year in my head. Yeah. But it's like, I got to realize what's going on. You feel me? And like music take time to hit people.
It does take time, and particularly when you have an album that is an album. You know what I'm saying? Like there are great songs on there that stick out, but nothing sticks out so much to where you're like, this is the one I should show people. Exactly. It's like, yo, sit down, take a half hour, listen to the whole fucking thing. Exactly. Like put your headphones on and like just vibe.
And then mind you, it's so countercultural too on a major too. So it's like people gotta like see what's going on.
That's the thing is I'm sure you've gotten this before, and I'm sorry to be stereotypical or cliche, but it reminds me of like in 2006, 2007 when I'm hearing Blue for the first time, and Blue's getting picked up because that's that same kind of like timeless. You can't tell when it came out. Regionless. You can't tell where it's from. It's just bars and good beats and like a good feeling.
And that's crazy that people like I've heard that before, and that's crazy that people are saying that because like that's somebody I grew up on thinking he was the best. And it's just like
phenomenal.
It's just like crazy that like,
and that's not to say that I think you guys sound anything alike. It's just that,
but it's just even being mentioned next to his name is crazy,
right?
Because it's like, what the fuck? Like
the way that I have to compartmentalize rap music is like, oh, this reminds me of that. In just feeling, you know. And I'm like, this is what it felt like when I heard Blue the first time.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now that the record's out, are you going to be on the road and stuff?
Yeah, we lighted some shows up. Yeah, we lighted some shows up for sure. Just trying to get everything situated.
Yeah,
but
right.
For sure.
Are you going to go out with somebody or trying to headline or what's happening?
I'm trying to do both. Yeah. Whichever comes first, that's what we're trying to figure out right now. So like whatever comes first for real. But I'm trying to do both. Everything.
Yeah,
you know?
That's what it takes.
I would more so like to run my own shows up when it's like I'm like bigger.
Yeah.
You feel me? Yeah. Or not bigger, but like run my own shows up off of something where I'm hot. You feel me? I feel you,
yeah. I always thought about that. Like, I had a lot of friends that used to go out to South by Southwest every year, right? And like they would just go there and be doing just grinding and doing like the backyard shows at like 2 p.m. that nobody's there, or like everybody's still drunk from the night before or whatever. And I was always kind of like, it seems more beneficial to wait to do something like that until it's like your year that year.
You feel me?
You know what I mean?
It's like people, I don't know. I feel like some people think like I'll be spoiled with this rap shit, but I more so view it. It's work for sure.
You
but
just seem patient with it.
Yeah, I learned to be patient. I learned to love this shit enough to be patient with it. Yeah. 'Cause it's like you could easily be impatient with it for real. Like it's, I had to. I had to. A lot of people I just prefer to work smarter with this because it's so easy to burn yourself out with this shit, and you could be like, oh, when you 30. I'm trying to be young. You feel me? Like Jay-Z's 50 still rapping, and niggas is not like, you burnt out. I'm trying to be like that. Yeah. So it's like you gotta work smart and strategic rather than just like beat the same bag every day till it busts.
Your energy.
You feel me? Like
heading to New York tomorrow?
The 25th.
Oh, where are you going? What are you doing?
I'm gonna be out there. I got a show on the 27th. I don't know if you're familiar with Standing on the Corner. It's like a jazz band, low key. Yeah. But they hard. They did there was recently helped Solange put together her shit.
No way.
And those is the homies before they even did that. So it's crazy. So like
they're from out here?
They from Brooklyn.
Oh, from Brooklyn. Okay.
So just go and link with them and just kick it, work on some music and shit. I got another show May 30th, and then I'm setting some up in the middle of May.
Yeah.
So we just working.
And are you somebody that like when a project comes out, you just stay working, or do you take a little break to reset and learn some more about life?
I'll be having to live my life to make music. Yeah. You know, I'm just that type of person. I can't just rap back to back because I'm gonna just rap about the same shit.
Totally.
So it's like, as much as I love to go back off past shit, you know, like I'll be trying to paint the new shit. Yeah. So it's like, that's what I'm on right now.
Do you ever feel like you have to dislike your older shit to start writing the new shit? Do you ever listen to the old art and go like, that's just not me anymore, I gotta make some new shit?
Word, because growth. But essentially, I have a hard time playing my music in general.
At all?
Yeah.
Not even like when you first finish it and you're mixing it down, you're like, oh, this is fucking slaps.
That's probably why I hate it, because I play it like 100 times during that process.
Because you got to like get it perfect. Every syllable, exactly. Like, oh, I got to go fix that.
And I'm a perfectionist with that shit. So it's like, I'll be over songs. I love performing them, but like I can't listen to Lil Big Man. Because every time I listen to it, I'm like, oh, I would have did that. I would have did that. Yeah. And it's like, but.
It drives you nuts.
You know it does, but it also get me ready for what I'm going to do on the next shit.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Speaking of real life, do you have like real life hobbies? What kind of normal guy shit do you do when it's not music industry stuff?
What do I do? I just like to smoke weed, but usually, but lately I've been trying to chill off that. I just been with my girlfriend. Yeah. What I like to do, go outside, go to the park. I'm a very normal person. Yeah. Like I be chilling. I don't really be like on shit, and I be like by myself a lot too. I like solitude. Yeah. So I mean, what I like to do, not much, man. Really, just like rap and just live life just a little bit. Just kick it, bro. Yeah, just experience. Hell yeah. You know?
Hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time to come out to the crib. I know it's all the way on the other side of town. Bro, I know you're a busy dude. No. And, I'm thankful to catch you on the way up, because I think that we're going to be seeing a lot more from you in the future coming up. And I think like right now, taking these little opportunities, you know, that shows that somebody who's, to me, making smart choices to put themselves out there, and it's going to lead to even bigger and bigger opportunities. You know what I mean?
I'm definitely all down for just like real people and this shit because it's rare.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate it, bro. So tell the people where they can find you online.
Run that back on everything. RUNDATBACK on Instagram, and then on Twitter RUNDATBACC. Maxo. I'm on all the streaming platforms, everything, YouTube, Maxo Vivo, all that.
Maxo with just one X. And it's, on Spotify.
Maxo.
Maxo. You're on Spotify, you're on iTunes, you're on SoundCloud, you're everywhere.
Videos on YouTube. Just search my shit.
You know what I mean?
Lil Big Man out now, LILBIGMAN.
It's a fantastic record. You can put it on for just about any activity that you're partaking in. I like to listen to it while I'm driving or while I'm working. It's one of those records that I would listen to while I was cleaning, too.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
So it's that kind of mood. My name is Lee. Some of you guys might know me as Intuition. You can follow me on Twitter at It's Intuition, and this is You Feel Me, mixed and mastered by my man Ben Shin, making the shit sound buttery. Brought to you by Skullcandy. Yeah, so follow us and follow at Skullcandy and go peep Maxo. It's very worth it.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Already, good look.
Yeah, most definitely.